I'm going to log into the meeting now, just in case anyone showed up early, or in case they've sent me the wrong link and I have to figure out where the right one is. So, I'm recording on two things right now. This one over there is recording the screen. This one is recording audio only, so I'm just going to be sharing audio only initially, because again, I don't want to. I'm trying to respect people's privacy, while at the same time I need to get the focus on the institution. So okay, logging in now, we'll see what happens. Testing video here. Joseph Murphy. Today's date is December the 6th, which is National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence on Women in the Workplace. Not a coincidence. Really shouldn't be this much work to keep a fucking entry-level job at the government. Spoke with Sharon last night. Spoke with Sharon last night. From work Sharon, not Sharon. Guess things are a little tense. They're like, what the fuck is happening? Why is everything going so quickly? I'm like, it's the power of the system. Oh, you know what? I think I got it. Okay. Sorry, can you hear me? I just sent you an email, so you can ignore that.
So I'm like, I'll go log in.
No, I was trying to do it where I had to do the link with the enter the meeting code manually because it just wasn't working. But yeah, I got in. So. Oh, give me one sec. I just have to grab my pen and paper back here.
I took it from the meeting invitation. It is yourself and Joseph, and then we're just waiting for, hi Joseph, we're just waiting for Olga Malero, the HR advisor, who will be scribed today.
Yeah, and Michael Cook is actually going to come.
Oh, he is going to attend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe in the meeting.
I looked at the tracking and I didn't see an acceptance, so I made the assumption that it was just you, but I wasn't sure. Good afternoon, Olga. We're just confirming right now if Michael will also be joining from OPSU.
He's supposed to be. He was invited. Supposed to have been.
Yes. I made sure he received the invite. I just didn't get a response.
Yeah. As soon as you accept it, it kind of like disappears. So I wait till last minute there.
Melissa, you're having a hard time looking me in the eye.
No, actually,
You
I'm
are
not.
actually.
I was going to explain the screens. I have my meeting notes above the camera, so you will see me look above. It's not an intentional. It's really hard to see where anybody's looking. I'm actually looking in your eyes right now.
I can tell the difference,
Yes,
and I can
but
tell.
I was reviewing my
No,
notes
you weren't,
from-
Melissa. The second I looked at your eyes, you looked away. Twice.
I was
That's fine. We can wait for the meeting to start.
make sure that I'm
That's fine. Well, before the meeting starts, Melissa, I hope you realize today is your last chance. I'm hoping that maybe you can stop being a part of the system and just look at what you're actually doing. How do you sleep at night, Melissa? Like seriously, like, you know I'm a person. You know that I'm a good employee. You know that, because my record will show that. And I want you to look at how quickly you're moving to come after a good employee because he spoke out against anti-black racism. How quickly you're moving.
Sorry.
Leanne is already on the call. You don't have to wait for her to join. She's here. Leanne, can I ask you a question
Sure.
while we're waiting? I'm sorry, the screen's frozen. Is Leanne still there? I can't see.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do we have verification that Michael was actually invited to the meeting? Like, can we see that he was invited?
Yep.
I'm not asking Melissa, I'm asking Leanne.
Yes, he was invited.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just wondering if maybe he had an emergency.
Well, then we should have to postpone because we can't conduct this meeting properly without him here. Which they know.
You still have a rep here, which is me. So I'm gonna try and give him one more call, and I'll get back.
Well, it's apparent to me now that the employer has chosen a course of action, so I'm just deciding that it's time to make my course of action known. I realized when I told you I was going public in May that I was up against a force that was just way too strong for me. So I thought to myself, I looked at my heroes. What would Buffy do in this situation? You know what she would do? I watched season 7, episode 19 and 20. When she was faced with a greater foe that was pushing her out, that she couldn't beat no matter what she did, she dug deep and she got a different weapon. That's what I'm doing. So, question for everyone. Does everyone know what day is it today? What day is it?
Joe, I don't mean.
Please stop, please. I know that you're trying to protect me, but I know what I'm doing. And I've protected you. Please stop, please stop. I know.
Michael was in a meeting, so I'm trying to get him out of the meeting to attend this other meeting.
Thank you. So I will keep going while we're waiting for Michael. I will keep going. So do you know what today's day it is? Nope. Do you know what today's day is? What's today's date?
As a domestic violence survivor, I'm very aware of what today's day is.
Yes, I also am a survivor of domestic violence, which
I'm very sorry to hear that.
you would know if you knew anything about me. Second question. Do you think it's an accident that we're meeting today?
We're not answering questions right now. We need to proceed with the meeting when Michael is here.
No, the meeting's already over because you've already decided what you're doing. You've already decided, because what I've done is, all I've done is for months and months and months, I've been trying to speak with you. For months and months, I've allowed you time to speak. So now it is my time to speak.
Can I move you to a different room? Oh, yes, I suppose I can do gray hair friends. Absolutely.
So if you're refusing to hear me talk at this point, my last question, and then we can end the meeting. Last question, and we can end the meeting, okay? Melissa, when me, as the head of a publishing company, a media organization, went to you in May and said that I was going public with evidence that the province of Ontario was suppressing Black racism, did you contact a lawyer? No lawyer. Okay. Did you take any action to stop, like, did you get an injunction to stop the release of the movie? Okay. Well, I think maybe I saw a little bit of a light go off in your eyes. What I did is I've actually made a movie. I've made a documentary that has exposed anti-Black racism in the province of Ontario. And I did that on Facebook because I knew if I did an actual style documentary, the province would take steps to hide it. Okay, so now they've actually stopped the meeting, just so everyone knows. Okay. They stopped the meeting, it's fine. So I'm going to do a Facebook Live now. That was very good. Nobody took it seriously. The union couldn't even stand. The union couldn't show up on time. It was very obvious what was happening. There was no apology, nothing. So next steps. Thank you. If you don't want to just send that to me, I don't want to take next steps. No, it went exactly as I planned. It was not like planned. I shouldn't say planned. It went exactly as I expected them to, because they can't stop for 1 second to be stopped with the fucking system. So I have to do this before I lose my fucking nerve. And then if you can drive me to the liquor store, maybe drive me around, because I will not be capable of driving, but I need to get like alcohol and weed quickly. Okay. Oh, okay, so that, wow, wow. All I'm gonna say is wow. Wow. Anyway, if you're watching this video, you might have been watching me for a little while, and I'm hoping, you know, I have this whole speech that I've written up of what I'm going to say, and I'm probably going to try to say it in a second, but oh my fucking God, I can't believe this worked. Like, I knew it was going to work. Like, I knew intellectually, I knew, like, I saw all the math, I knew it was going to work, but I can't believe it actually did. Anyway, so I just left the union meeting, and I did give them one last chance to say, hey, can you stop what you're doing, stop this system, and actually just look at me for a second. And I've had a few people that have been messaging me over the last week saying, hey, Joe, are you okay? you know, we see your posts on Facebook and we're just really worried about you. And it's like, you know, your employer can take action against you if you go on Facebook. Like, I know, I'm not a fucking idiot. Anyway, I taught courses in human resources and contract law, among other things, for years. I understand very clearly what I can and what I cannot say on Facebook, and I've walked a very clear line. Anyway, none of that matters. Here's what does matter. Today, I met with the union, and it was very, very clear that no matter what I had done with my career, no matter what my, I met with a union representative and Melissa Kersey, who had a scribe there as well. At that meeting, I gave them one last opportunity, and all I said is, please, just apologize. Oh, good, you're still there, good. I am actually recording on Facebook Live now, so thank you for that. I just wanted to make sure that you're aware, and now...
You need to stop recording immediately.
Well, no, I don't actually.
If you will not follow the rules of this meeting, the meeting ends.
I thought the meeting had ended a long time ago.
It had not ended. Your union rep asked for a
Oh,
Turn
well,
off your recording
thank you.
immediately.
I am not turning off the recording. It's on Facebook Live now. And you know, that's fine. I thought the meeting was over. That's why I started the meeting, Melissa. And I've actually recorded this too. So for those of you right now, at home watching this live saying, oh my God, Joseph did that. I recorded it. I was recording the whole thing, and I have them saying this meeting is over, and that's when I jumped on Facebook Live. So fuck you again for trying to do this to me. Look, they're still on the meeting. They're still listening to what I'm doing, but you know what? This is fine, because what you have just witnessed is the culmination of several months of work. So today is the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence on Women in the Workplace. There was a massacre of 14 women at Polytechnique in 1989. It is not a coincidence that we're meeting today. To be very truthful, I had hoped that we were going to meet yesterday because I thought the story would have been more powerful to me if I had done that. Because yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of my mom's passing. And it would have been really powerful to me. If you look at my post from yesterday, that's what I had expected the culmination to be. Because here's the thing. The reason why I've done this is visual, live proof of systematic oppression. I've proved it on Facebook. The thing is, I didn't just prove it this week, and that's what they're not realizing yet. Because like, the thing about systems, like any system, it's predictable. And I saw what they were doing. I was able to manipulate it. The system doesn't care if black people are harassed. And the system will show that black people have been complaining about harassment for years and nothing was done. This is after the murder of George Floyd. This is Ontario in Canada, for the province of Ontario, working for Ontario Disability. The people there are harassing black people and taking no action. But, if an insolent black boy speaks up, action is taken immediately. And you've just witnessed it. Now, I'm hoping what you're seeing right now is I'm trying to be as serene as possible because I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the people who assumed that I was a complete fucking idiot and just gave me everything. Bill 168 was passed in June 15th in 2015, Laurie DuPont was a nurse at the Hotel du Grace Hospital, which is coincidentally 1 block away from where I work. The Ontario Disability Place in Windsor is 1 block away from where Laurie DuPont worked. Bill 168 was passed in part because Laurie DuPont went to her supervisors for years and complained about harassment, and they did nothing. Do you think it's a coincidence we're meeting today? You see, I'd hoped to have said this in the meeting, but they shut the meeting down so quickly because it was really obvious what they were doing, so I didn't get to say this to them, so I get to say it to you live. And now, it's here. So funny. In some ways, it's my birthday today. Not a real one. Think of it as a spiritual reawakening, like an avatar. Wink, wink. Go back to my post earlier this year where I talked about Avatar, where I had a spiritual reawakening, where I said I found my dream job, and I did. You see, I share a birthday with Sacha Baron Cohen, October 13th, 1971. You may know him from movies like Bruno or Borat. He has this thing with hidden cameras where he exposes, among other things, racist. And just like him, I was born to make movies. My inspiration was Bo Burnham's Inside. I watched it a gazillion times and I realized something. I just wasn't interested in writing books anymore. I wanted a new medium. And I had the perfect source material. So, initially, again, I had expected to say all that at the meeting, but they ended it so quickly that I didn't get a chance to. That's how quickly they're moving to shut me up, because I'm an insolent black boy. That's not allowed. The harassing of black women, completely allowed for years. Insolent black boy, down. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michael Joseph Murphy, and I want to welcome you to the end of my multimedia expose on systematic racism. That's right, the end. I have been working on this for months. The working title is Joe Did It. What you've just witnessed is a culmination of several months worth of work. Most of it has not been made public yet because it's still in government correspondence, but it is a matter of public record. So if anyone wants the emails, I can give you the dates and times and who sent them. You can put in a Freedom of Information Request Act and get them for yourself. So I don't have to give it to you. I can just tell you how to get it. When I told the employer I was going public in May of 2020, they took no actions because they have never taken me or this issue seriously. I assume that will change now because I told them, you need to understand, when I told them back in May, I said, do you realize I am a part owner in a media company and I have this expose saying, hey, you are suppressing anti-black racism. They did nothing. They did not put in writing, hey, say Joe. They could have put in writing, say, Joe, you're not allowed to talk about that. They didn't. They could have gone to the courts and got an injunction to prevent the release of documents. They have it in writing that I have. I told them in writing, I've got hidden cameras. And again, no legal action because they're not taking me seriously. I gave them 6 months written notice. And if they've taken steps towards injunctions, I have never been made aware. Now they may take actions to freeze this Facebook account, because again, it will show you, I want you to know what you've seen. I told you in May, hey, I'm a black boy and I'm dealing with racism at work, and nothing happened. I talked about it on Facebook. My employer didn't try to fire me. They don't care. Because that's not newsworthy. That's why I did this. Because a little black boy experiencing racism at work is not newsworthy. It's so common, it's not newsworthy. And I can prove that too. And it's why I've done everything I did last week. For the people that were messaging me saying, Joe, are you sure you know what you're doing? I knew exactly what I was doing. My motivation was a show called Undercover Boss. Now, I'm not a boss, and I shouldn't have to have done any of this, but no one else was, so that's what I did. I did an undercover boss thing. I did a sting operation to prove on social media the province works slowly, if at all, to stop anti-black racism. Insolent black boy speaks up, immediate action, and you all saw it. This is the end of my documentary. Welcome to truly social media. The movie is here. All you have to do is go back through my timeline and rewatch it. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, oh, there's no way that he really did this. I'm a writer. This is what writers do. The only difference is I did it in real life. I did a sting operation. I knew what I was doing all along because the system moves as systems do. And no one is taking the time to stop and look, I'm a good employee. The people that are being harassed are good employees. Stop protecting the harasser. You have a requirement under Bill 168. This is the province of Ontario, and we are one block from where Laurie DuPont worked. Shame. So my inspiration for all of it, for part of it was Avatar. It really was. I watched Avatar. I had that thing like dream job, make a movie. Sacha Baron Cohen, make a movie. You know what most of it was? Couldn't leave. Really wanted to. I was applying for jobs so much and I really wanted to just get out of there. I saw that the province wasn't going to take any action, that they were going to let that harasser stay there and they were going to let that person keep harassing black people, even though they had been told. Okay, Bill 168, again, not a lawyer, but I can read legislation. It says when an employer is informed of an allegation, there is supposed to be an investigation. They refused. They didn't do an investigation. They said I could get one done if I wanted to. And then when I tried, they took all elements of anti-black racism out of those reports. But again, black boy experiencing racism doesn't make a story. What might make a story is, here's a headline, maybe. Disabled, gay, black man forced to use extreme measures to prove he's smart enough to do an entry-level government job and realize when someone is pissing in his face and calling it rain. I see what you're doing. We all do. And we can all see it now because it's all on Facebook. Again, I've given you 6 months notice. This is now live on Facebook. My documentary, which you can now read back through posts, you can see how it's affected my mental health. You can see that before all of this, I was in good mental health. And because of this crap, 2 points of clarification, just to be very clear. 2 points. I gotta scroll down because this is really important. My separation from Rob was definitely not part of the plan. Everything else pretty much was, but that, not expecting. But Rob is much happier now, and I can finally say I am too. So that's something I had no control over. I think I was so busy just focusing on the plotting of this crap and trying to get it all in line so that it... Anyway, second thing. Unfortunately, the thing about suicide was completely real. I thought I was strong enough to handle this, nearly killed me. But right now, I'm using my privilege. And why am I, as a male, speaking out on this day? Part of it is selfish, absolutely. I'm going to cop to that completely. because I need to make as big of a splash as possible because nobody cares about black boy being discriminated against. It's part of it. I agree to that 100%. I needed a big story because when I went in May, nothing happened. When I went on Monday of last week, you saw there is no news vans in front of my house because nobody cares. So then I started realizing I need to stop making it about me. If I want real change to happen, I need to stop making it about me and what's happening to me. I need to focus on what's happening to the women in that workforce. That's why I chose today. Now again, the union management is going to come back and say, no, we chose that date. No, you didn't. I know how the system works. I gave you a push, and when you didn't move fast enough, I gave you a little bit more push, and you did exactly what the system is supposed to do. Silence black people. So months ago, I realized I had stumbled, I'm reading my thing again, I realized I had stumbled upon the clearest case of systematic racism and oppression I've ever heard of. And not because there was anything special about me. It wasn't, I need to make it clear. It's not that I'm hoping I'm proving I'm a little smart. Because to do what I've done, to have been planning this, to release a new type of documentary on a dying platform, to try to generate news, just to get people to focus on the fact that women, black women, are being harassed. I'm smart, but there's nothing special about me. Just like there was nothing special about George Floyd. And I think the reason we know George Floyd's name is not because of anything that George Floyd did before he was murdered. The only reason we know his name is there was someone with a cell phone that recorded oppressors doing what oppressors do. So again, I thought, what would Buffy do? She would use her weapon. This is actually, if you're a Buffy fan, there's a scene, I think it's in season 5, when Buffy gives a present to her sister Dawn. And Dawn says, is this a weapon? Buffy says, yes, it is. It's a cell phone. So this part here is just for black people. Okay, just for black people. White people, you can ignore me for a second. I need you to understand that I get how scared it is. How scary it is to do to speak up. Because the whole world has seen now how quickly an educated black man in some place that's supposed to be safe is pushed out. Pushed out from one Facebook post. Because that's not allowed. Oppressing black women is allowed. This is to everyone. I need to make something very clear. I'm not trying to be a martyr. I'm not giving up my job. This is not me giving up my job. This is me fighting for my job. This was a sting operation that I'm hopeful the province realizes they have complete control over the narrative at this point. Because they do. The province at this point can say, oh my God, there's a problem in Windsor. And look what this poor man has had to go through to get us to pay attention, even though he's been shouting into a void for years. These are the lengths I had to go through to get anyone to pay any attention. I had to make a movie. Instead of saying what Bill 168 says, just report it to your supervisor. That, I don't want to say it's a lie, but it certainly feels like one, because there's still been no investigation, and they're now trying to push this really good employee out of a job, because that is something that they are actively willing to work on. So again, if you look back through my Facebook page, you'll see that, look at it with a fresh eye, you'll see that I was giving a little winks along the way, sometimes more than usual. But I'm hopeful that if you just go back and look at what I've done, I knew what I was doing, and I set this up on purpose. I was never intentionally, all of my actions are not insubordination. My actions are screaming at the leadership that there is a problem that they are refusing to fix. It's an unsafe work environment. Now here comes the scariest part, because I'm still screaming into a void. Unless people spread this message. So I just finished watching Andor, and watching like Revolutions, and I need to be clear, like I heard a story in the States of I haven't looked into it. I heard it. It's too touchy for me to actually look at it, but heard a story of a black man that was harassed at work for years. And one day he just broke and killed everyone. And I need you to understand, the people that actually know me, that is who leadership thinks I am. They think that I'm a hair trigger away from going off and taking a gun to everyone. That's how they perceive me. That type of behavior is stupid. That's stupid. We have better weapons. Cell phones. The only way to stop oppressors is exposure. That's it. That's why they work so hard to stomp down little black boys that speak up, because they're terrified of what I'm doing. Because the more people's eyes on them, the more they actually have to do something. Okay, that's why I'm speaking up. I need you to understand, if I was not recording everything, I would have been out of a job in the summer. That's why I'm recording everything, because I caught them on paper suppressing reports of black racism. I caught them doing it. I took precautions to protect myself. So if you want to take action against me for recording meetings to protect myself because I caught what you're doing, well, I hope that the union steps up too, because the union, you haven't stepped up either. Okay, I don't want to put all of this on the province, because you saw what happened at the meeting today. One guy didn't even bother to show up on time for a case this important. And when he didn't show up, again, they haven't heard anything. They have not been involved, and they should be. So at this point, I need everyone to step the fuck up and start taking this seriously. I'm not the problem. I shouldn't be the one fixing this. I'm a disabled 51-year-old man in a unionized environment. And I'm watching as women are harassed every day, even though Bill 168 says all you have to do is report it. I know, I'm probably rambling. I'm sorry. Why didn't I just leave? I'm a man of privilege. I am. I could have just got a new job. And I can't let them win. I can't leave knowing those women have no protection. And that's why they want me out of the office, because when I'm there, this part, everything up until now, I've had mostly some control over. It's been exhausting and stressful, but I think my work is done. For now, because this is the end. This is the end of the documentary. So stop here. Once this video stops, go back. Go back to the Avatar video. Watch again with a new eye. You'll understand I knew what I was doing. Anyway, the next part is out of my control. It's scary as hell. The next part depends on you. I need you to forward this to black people. Black people, if you're seeing this, I'm going to use this is a gaming term. Right now, I'm the tank. right now, the province of Ontario's all other eyes will be on me as they try to take all other action on me. They have two choices for narrative. They can either say, thank you for illuminating the problem, or shut up. I'm hoping it's thank you for illuminating the problem, and that both union and the employer will say, thank you, Joseph. Because you see, I told Melissa Kersey I was going public in May, and they didn't take me seriously. I've tried everything I can to play the system, and now the system needs to stop. So I'm hopeful the employer will do that. The employer will say, you know what, thank you for illuminating the problem. And it obviously looks like there's a problem with Melissa Kersey that we need to deal with. And there's a problem in the Windsor office that we need to deal with. That's what I'm hopeful. If not, the next option is to do the actual old school documentary. So if they do decide to terminate me while I'm grieving that and pursuing it through the union, I will go to work on the actual documentary. And if they take that step, the good news is the trailer and the GoFundMe page should be up probably by early next week. See, the thing is, I told them I was going public. And they just didn't believe me. So I did it right underneath their eyes. This is a lesson I learned from... this is something that Mike Harris did, and I respect him for it. Mike Harris, people don't like him because he did what he said he was going to do. And that's what I did.